You know, one of the most touching things that happened to me was this guy who spoke no English. He came up to me the day before our final day and said, "You're my brother."
Wow.
And it was such a moving experience for me that I got back to our hostel, our hotel, and it forced me to really shed a tear because it was such a moving experience.
That almost did for me just when you said it, because you think about the immense poverty or other things down there.
You know, and then the day that we left, he had been wearing this wool cap the entire time we were there.
Right.
And he came up to me, he put his arm around me and said, "You're my brother," gave me this wool cap. And, you know, and when I think about, you know, this man who's making $400 a month, you know, he gave me what he had. And it really forced me to say, what am I giving to people? So
that's powerful.
It was a great experience.
That is very powerful.
Great experience.
And these were principally, or all were members of the Students Taking Active Responsibility?
They were all members of Students Taking Active Responsibility.
Right? That's great. Is this a group that kicked off after your arrival at Coastal, or is it something that's been there for quite a while?
They have been there for some time.
Right.
I think that in the past couple of years, this group has become more and more active on campus. You know, they are doing so many service projects. It's just unreal. Recently, we had a Relay for Life on campus.
Good.
This group was the group that coordinated that.
Right.
Of course, they set a goal to raise, you know, $17,500 and raised about $35,000.
Oh, come on.
They did.
Oh, come on.
They did.
For the Relay for Life?
For Relay for Life. It was just unbelievable.
I think I saw some of the STAR folks just 48 hours ago when we were out at Coastal this Saturday for the Horry County Walk America for the March of Dimes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Coach Bennett, you know, the honorary chair, and Mark Mitchell were working so hard to make it a successful weekend. I know the president was out there this weekend.
That's right.
I've even seen you. I mean, it was such a tremendous crowd. A lot of Coastal folks out there.
That's exactly
and a lot of
right.
folks working to save babies.
That's right. That's right.
I think I saw some STAR folks out there walking
You did.
the 3-mile campus through walk. It was beautiful out of there.
You know, any type of service projects that occur on campus, they get involved in.
Right.
You know, it's just so amazing to see so many students who want to give back.
Oh yeah.
And it really speaks to you know, the type of students who are enrolled at Coastal Carolina University.
There's a lot of things that kids ages 18 to 21, 18 to 22, or 17 can get into, and making that commitment to serve others is one they probably find more enlightening, more exciting for them than any fraternity or sorority party they may have gone to, or any other campus social event that they easily could have attended. Not to take anything away from great social as well as service fraternities and sororities, but at the same time to recognize there's a lot of other great organizations on campus.
You know, and one of the things that's so exciting about being at Coastal, you know, I think that we as a campus really have to figure out what it is that we can do to meet whatever needs the students have.
Right.
You know, we have some students who really need a social outlet.
Yes.
There are some students who want to do those community service projects.
Right.
And so as a campus, we really put forth a whole lot of effort to meet those needs. And, you know, those students who are in those social organizations, you know, I'm just absolutely thrilled, even with our Greek letter organizations.
Good.
You know, they did a canned food drive for Step Up.
Yeah.
You know, where they raised over 5,000 cans.
Oh, come on.
They did.
Valerie must have been thrilled.
Oh, she was. She was. They had this competition called Canned Food Castles, and they built castles with the canned goods and had over 5,000 cans.
John Stamey turned in a picture. Dr. Stamey, who's in the computer science department out there, who writes our internet column,
he's very active,
turned in a picture of the Delta Chi organizations, one of the social fraternities, and some of the cans that they'd collected, and very exciting to see students getting involved.
That's exactly right.
Really getting involved in a positive fashion.
Exactly.
You know, had you ever thought when you were joining or getting into the University of Mississippi back there as a freshman, even at that time when you were contemplating being in architecture, that you would one day be working for a university, if not even that university? Of course, you were there for 12 years in a...
I just never thought that's the direction that my life would take.
Right.
But you know, when I was working on my undergraduate degree, I was very introverted. And so my junior year, I decided that I wanted to become a resident advisor because I knew that I needed to move out of that. and I began to work in student housing, began to do some volunteer stuff on campus, and my mentor, who is gone now, she passed away from lung cancer. She really, one of the things that she did, she worked in the Counseling Services Center, and I did some volunteer work for Counseling Services, and she sort of took me under her wings, and really, I mean, she had such an impact on my life that I said, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to live my life surrounded by college students. Because I mean, I saw what she did, and I said, this is what I want to do. So it sort of changed my direction.
A lot of folks really pull from that. You know, my father's been teaching law since 1950. Continuously since '56, but he's been in that classroom. He's almost 80 now, Lloyd, and the excitement for him being around law students every day during the week for, you know, the 9 months of the year that Duke is in class, the excitement for him to be interfacing with students is, and of course they're a little bit older, but not much.
Exactly.
It's a thrilling thing. It really keeps him going and growing and getting stronger every day. It's amazing.
That's right.
And you get the same thing out of it, don't you?
I do. I really do.
How's your mom feeling about that? A, your move from Mississippi to South Carolina, and B, working in a college environment rather than being an architect.
I think my mom is extremely proud. You know, I grew up in a single parent home. My father died when I was 9 months old from an accidental gunshot wound. Oh no! And so my mother chose to not remarry because she just didn't want her sons to have a stepfather. I guess growing up, you know, she always wanted us to do what would make us happy, and she always said, whatever it is you do, I want you to be the best at it, and whatever that is, your mom's going to be proud. So and when I decided that I was going to leave accounting and go into something else, she says, I want you to be the best that you can possibly be at it.
That's great.
And of course, when I got ready to move, you know, my mom, my brother, and I are extremely close.
Is that right?
Extremely.
Your brother's still there, as you said.
He is. And when I got ready to move, she said that, I mean, everybody was thinking, you know, what is your mom going to do? And she said to me one day when I was telling her that everybody was asking me this, she says, you know, if you got in your car, got hit by an 18-wheeler, and I lost you as a result of this automobile accident, she says, your mom would have to go on. And she says, you know, it really won't be any difference. You know, the only difference is that you won't be able to come to my house every Sunday to eat dinner because I call her every day, or she calls me to find out, why didn't you call me today?
Is that right? Even now? Yeah, y'all are communicating daily.
Even now. Yeah. So, I mean, it's daily communication going on. So,
that's right.
So she's fine with it.
Do you get to talk to your brother much?
I do.
Good.
I do.
Yeah.
He and I talk several times.
And your best friend in Houston, Texas. That's right.
Yeah.
So keeping good bonds there, and that probably enables you to continue to communicate not only well, but even better with students.
Certainly.
Because you keep that open pipeline with your mother, your brother, and your best friend. Probably much like students, ages 18 to 21, are communicating with their parents,
certainly,
their siblings, and their best friends back home, wherever they are.
You know, and I think that because of that connection that I have with family, you know, when I moved to South Carolina, there hasn't been a time that I've felt like I was out here alone.
Right.
Because, you know, moving, you know, 11 hours away.
Yeah.
You know, you
can't get home for Sunday lunch.
You can't go home for Sunday lunch. You know, but I've never felt like my family wasn't close.
Right. Right. How are you feeling about the David DeCenzo edition and his moving into the presidency? That's a pretty exciting feeling around campus. You know, the professoriate.
I think it's just so very exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I think that with him coming in, you know, there's quite a few ideas that he's mentioned.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just going to be exciting for the campus. I think with the new administrative structure with him and Dr. Eddie Dyer, I think it's just going.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be exceptional for the campus.
It
exceptional.
Is. We love Eddie. Eddie's been on the show before. We saw David out this weekend at the walk. We're going to try to get him on the show soon.
That's wonderful.
Really excited to get you in. If you weren't the dean of students, Lloyd, what do you think you would be doing?
if I were not the Dean of Students, I would be working in student affairs.
Really? Yeah.
I certainly would.
Yeah.
I think that there are times when we just have a calling in life.
Yeah.
And I think my calling in life is to be in student affairs, to be working with students.
Those are good words. Thanks so much for being with us this
morning.
morning.
You so much.
Sorry we've run out of time.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more of the Dr. Lloyd Holmes coming up next on Carolina People. How often does the dean give out his phone number? That doesn't happen very often. You know, a guy who doesn't want to be defined by his doctor of philosophy, but instead wants to be defined by his notion, his desire of giving back, making a difference, whether he's acting as the advisor to students taking active responsibility, or serving on the board of Habitat for Humanity, or giving of his time to the people in that community in Chile, or even picking up the phone and calling his mother every day, or calling his brother, or talking to his best friend in Houston. He's finding a way to give back. That interaction with students, it's a regular occurrence, not being defined by his doctorate, but instead being defined by interacting with students, making their lives better, hearing their problems, hearing their good days, and hearing about their bad days. It's finding a way to give back. 2 ears, 1 mouth. He knows it's better to listen, take the time to take it in, and then give a little something back. He's doing it every day. Dr. Lloyd Holmes.